Hey folks, I'm Leigh Brunell. I'm the founder of the Natural Health Clinic, and today we're going to be talking about why your Snickers bar is better than your protein bar. You heard that right. I didn't make a mistake. Your Snickers bar is very likely better than your protein bar. Stay tuned for that right after this. Yeah, so you're probably pretty interested how on earth could Snickers be better than protein bar, and probably a lot of you are kind of secretly happy to hear that. But that does not mean that I'm advocating that you start eating a Snickers bar, as you'll see very soon why. So first, let's consider what's in the typical Snickers bar. Well, first of all, you have to realize that that teeny tiny little bar, it is 58% sugar. Of course, there's other ingredients there. Some of the main ingredients, of course, is chocolate. That's why you really like it, right? Peanuts, there's corn syrup, there's sugar, eggs, palm oil, there's butter, skim milk, which is lactose, which is sugar, and peanuts again. So looking through that label, those are all really kind of foods, aren't they? And I just want you to also keep that in the back of your mind as we go over some of these more well-known protein bars. You're going to say, what? So there's no doubt that the overwhelming perception out there is that protein bars are probably by far better for you than candy bars. So let's look at a few of the more popular protein bars. We're going to start with the Cliff brand of protein bars. So there's a Cliff protein bar. Well, first of all, the Cliff protein bar is 41% sugar. So the carb grams are basically the same as a Snickers bar. It has cane syrup in it. It has brown rice syrup. It has palm oil, soy flour, rice flour, which, by the way, all of these flours, the soy flour, the rice flour, those are called starches, and you're going to see starches listed under the carbohydrate grams of all of these different kinds of protein bars. Now, the reason for that is that really what these starches are is hidden sugars. Okay, so just realize anytime you see starches, it is a hidden sugar. Now, what is the fantastic protein source of this incredible protein bar? Are you ready for this? I bet you may have already guessed it. It is soy protein concentrate. Of course, soy protein is the cheapest form of incredibly low quality, crappy protein that your body can only absorb maybe upwards of 35%. All right, not to mention that it's usually genetically modified. And if the protein is genetically modified, they don't necessarily have to put that part on the label. So let's talk about now another type of Cliff bar. It's the Cliff Energy bar. Of course, you know, a Cliff Energy bar has got to be better for you than a Snickers bar, right? Well, let's start out with the sugar percentage. 56% of a Cliff Energy bar is sugar. Do you remember that the Snickers bar was 58% sugar? Well, Cliff Energy bar, of course, obviously a healthier alternative, is only 56% sugar. It has oats. It has oats. It has oats in it. It has soy rice crisps, or organic brown rice syrup, rice flour, tapioca syrup, organic cane syrup. Now that's got to be good for you because the organic part, right? Still sugar. Chicory flour, organic soy flour, and soy oil. Again, the reason that those flours are in there is because they serve as starches, which equals additional sugars. Oftentimes, 4 teaspoons or more of additional sugar just in that bar. And by the way, soy oil is an incredibly rancid, toxic, horrible form of oil. So go Cliff Energy bar. Now, the next one is an incredibly popular bar. I have clients bring it in to me all the time, and they're trying to be healthy. They think that it's healthy, but really it is not healthy, as you will soon see why, and that is the Kind bar. Doesn't that just make you feel fantastic? It's a Kind bar. Is it kind on your body? Well, let's find out. Well, the Kind bar is 37.5% sugar. It has peanuts. It has glucose syrup in it, which is an incredibly quickly metabolized sugar that is anything but low glycemic. And I believe that they advertise or market their Kind bar as a low glycemic, good for you diabetics type of bar, right? And it's anything. Glucose syrup is anything but low glycemic, right out lying in my opinion. But what else does it have in it? Well, of course it has sugar, it has honey, it has palm oil, the soy protein again, of course, because it's cheap and crappy, and don't forget the ever-loving chicory root. So that is the Kind bar, not very kind in my opinion, and certainly not very good for diabetics. Well, the next I mean, they're all popular, right? Cliff, Kind. The next one I see also quite commonly, that is the Quest bars. Well, Quest bars are 41% sugar. The protein blend, they don't really say what it is, so who the heck knows? Probably soy. Now, it has an interesting ingredient called a polydextrose. Now, this ingredient, the polydextrose, there's not been any long-term safety studies on it, so we don't know. It's a form of sugar. We don't know how, when this gets into your gastrointestinal system and the bacteria start working on it and breaking it down, how that affects the bacteria. It may kill it like a lot of genetically modified foods do. In fact, most of them. Really, there's no idea. There's no studies on it. You are the experiment to how polydextrose affects the body. So, good luck with that. Yeah, not very good. The Quest bar, it contains water. Don't know if I really want too much water in my protein bars. I prefer to get my water from a glass or a thermos. Don't really need to put water in there. Seems like just a filler type of ingredient. Erythritol, of course, that is a sugar alcohol. Sugar alcohols, not so good for the tummy again, can cause gas, bloating, painful gas, diarrhea, a lot of GI complaints. Sodium casein, which they throw in there as a form of protein, not a very good form of protein, and whey protein isolate, which is from dairy, from cow's milk. What about the Pure Protein bar? Now just think about the name of that brand, Pure Protein bar. That's exactly what I want, just pure protein. I'm going to be a carnivore now, even though the protein is soy. But anyway, it's pure protein, got to be good for you, right? Well, let's just see how pure protein that bar really is. First of all, it is 34% sugar. Doesn't seem to be pure protein already, does it? 14 grams of starches. Remember I said that starch is commonly thrown in there as flours of different kind. So it has 14 grams of starches. That's equivalent to about 4 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, so that's pure protein, all right, isn't it? And of course, it's hidden sugar. The reason that they're putting it in there as starches is because they don't want you to know that it's sugar. So they're hiding it. It's hidden sugar. Then it lists sugar. Oh, I thought it was pure protein, but no, sugar listed there. Tapioca starch, sucralose. We all know that is a wonderful for you artificial sweetener that also destroys the gut bacteria, interestingly enough. Maltitol syrup, maltitol. Again, that is forms of sugar alcohols, not good for you. And of course, the pure protein, guess what form of protein that is? You probably already guessed it, soy protein isolates. Again, the crappiest, most genetically modified, bad for you as possible protein, vegetarian protein. But we're not done yet. We also have the One bar. It's got to be the One bar. That is 41% sugar. Seems like there's a lot of these bars that are 41% sugar. There's a Cliff bar, there's the Quest bar, now there's this One bar. So 41% sugar, has maltitol again, sugar alcohol, here's all these hidden starches. Ready? Rice flour, tapioca starch, milk protein, whey protein. So the milk protein is different than the whey protein, even though whey is from milk. Likely, the milk protein is casein. The reason that they put milk protein in it instead of casein is that many people are actually quite allergic to casein. So they know some people are looking for it, and it's like, okay, we're going to fill them. Let's just call it milk protein. All right. So anyway, that could very well be the reason that they differentiate between milk protein and whey protein, because they're both milk proteins. All right. Let's see. Soluble vegetable fiber. That just sounds good for you. All right. Isomaltoleuglio, not kidding, saccharides. That is sugar. All right, saccharide. Anytime you see saccharides, it's a form of sugar. Canola oil, so that is a seed oil, oftentimes genetically modified, very trashy, very lousy. Polydextrose again. Thank God for those, experiments. Cellulose. You know what cellulose is? Anytime you see cellulose in any product, guess what that is? That is sawdust. Yeah, basically wood fiber, wood chips. So you're filling up on wood. Okay. So cellulose and sucralose. Okay. Again, they're artificial sweeteners, which very much oftentimes affect the gut bacteria. So next, I see this occasionally. It's called the Met RX bar. How much sugar do you think is that? Well, if you guess 41%, you'd be very close. It's actually 48. 48% sugar. Again, there's those starches in it, the rice starch, the maltitol syrup. Again, the sugar alcohols, right? But it doesn't stop there. No, this Met RX bar, which really sounds good for you because it sounds like a prescription, right? Has corn syrup in it, has fructose in it, has soy protein isolates in it. It has whey protein, milk. They throw some egg whites in there. Bioengineered food ingredients. Bioengineered food ingredients. What could that be? Oh, GMO. Now see, they know a lot of people are looking for GMOs, and people don't like GMOs because they know it's bad for you. So it's like, okay, well, let's not call it GMOs. Let's call it bioengineered food ingredients. Sounds scientific. Remember COVID? Follow that science. Good for you. You just get turbo cancers and die of, heart attacks at 15 years old, because that's normal. All right. So RX bars, no BS, just has all these foods listed right on the front to make you think that that is the only foods that is in that RX bar with no BS attached to it. But is that true? Well, first of all, let's make sure that we understand how much sugar is in that no BS bar. It's actually 53% sugar. Now, I know it's been a while, but do you remember how much sugar was in your good old Snickers? That was 58% sugar. All right, so this RX bar, 53% sugar, but it does have some food in it. It does have some almonds, blueberries, some pumpkin seeds. Not too bad, right? Brown rice. Don't know why they put that in there. High oleic sunflower oil. So that sounds good for you, but it's not. It's just another basically seed oil. Oat fiber, coconut sugar, and sea salt. And by the way, kind of another deception is that any salt has been a sea salt, even Morton's table salt that is terrible for you and highly processed. That was actually originally a sea salt. So just because something terms itself a sea salt doesn't mean that it's a good salt. There are only a very few brands that I would recommend as far as salt that you should actually take up. So let's go back just briefly to the Snickers bar. Now it's 58% sugar, which is a hell of a lot of sugar, no doubt about it. But it actually contains some food like chocolate and peanuts. It does have the corn syrup in it, which that's really not a food. All right, that's well, it's all ultra processed, but you have to process it in order to get the corn syrup. Has sugar, has egg whites, has palm oil, has butter. None of these protein bars had butter in it. Has skim milk, which is lactose, which is sugar, but it's not sucralose. Okay, and it has peanuts. So there's a lot of peanuts in Snickers apparently. So it's a little bit surprising that that's actually some real foods. Now it's terrible because it is almost 60% sugar. I mean, oh my gosh. But the fact that these protein bars are marketed as a healthy alternative. Some of them even market it as an alternative to breakfast. It's terrible. I forget which one. I think it might be I don't remember which one it is, but it's a pretty high sugar content, although all of them are high. The lowest one is the Kind bar. It is not Kind. It is not low glycemic. If you know diabetics are eating it and you know them well, you might want to suggest that they get some kind of, well, they just don't do it. And it is 37.5% sugar. It's pretty bad. So overall, you know, the corn syrup and the bioengineered food products and the maltitol and the polydextrose and all these different kinds of ingredients, really, protein bars end up being almost worse than the Snickers. Again, I'm not saying go out and eat Snickers. Stay away from it. They're bad news. They're terrible for you. It's going to be very difficult to reach your health goals consuming Snickers, but it's going to be also very difficult to reach your health goals by consuming protein bars. So I really hope you found this information helpful and informative. If you did, please help me by sharing, liking, commenting on this video. Give it to all your friends, you know, share it on your friends list, etc. It helps the algorithm a lot. Otherwise, you know, there's really not very many views to these videos anymore because of our wonderful social media censoring. So once again, I am Labron Allen, the founder of the Natural Health Clinic, and if you are looking for help in attaining your health goals or meeting any health challenges, that's why I'm here. I invite you to make an initial consultation appointment, and together we can find out if and how, step by step, that we can work together and help you attain those goals. So thanks for watching. See you next time.